Hey everybody, today's topic that I wanted to share with you has to do with some of the reasons behind why we think it's so important that you actually generate or prospect. So whether you're talking about listing leads or buyer leads, there's three really important points that I want you to remember about prospecting. Now, of course, you're hearing from us that it's important, and you're going to, because you want to get better and you see the results that our agents have, I'm sure that you've bought in and you say, okay, this is what I need to do. But I always feel like there's a little bit better buy-in and there's a little bit better understanding and commitment if you really know why does it make sense. So I want to share these three reasons with you so as you get going you can understand how important it is. Number one is you have to understand that your prospecting shortens the learning curve of learning the language in this business. So every industry, including real estate, has its own language. And your job right now is to learn the language of real estate as quickly as you can. Listen, there's a finite number. There's a total number of conversations that you're going to come into contact with in this business. And after that, after you know how to handle them all and you've heard them all, then it's just a matter of getting better at them. There's not a lot that's changed in the last 20, 30, 40 years in the objections and the questions that buyers and sellers have. So the goal should be to get through those conversations as quickly as you can, learn them, understand them, and be able to communicate at a really high level. Think of this example. Someone that just comes in the business as a new agent and they learn all the technical side, they know how to write a contract, but they never go out and have conversations about real estate. They never go out and they don't take buyer calls, don't make outgoing buyer calls to people that have raised their hand and asked about properties. They don't, when people email them, they don't call them back. They just wait until someone comes in and says, hey, I'm ready to buy the home. And those are the people they work with. Okay? Think about their experience for that agent over the course of, say, 12, 24 months. Because there's not a lot of people that simply just walk up and say, hey, I'm ready to buy. There's a lot of conversations that have to take place, meetings, look at homes, all those things, listing appointments. So think of the experience that that agent number one has after 12 months. Now consider you coming into the business and you start making your outbound calls, whether they're leads that came in through the website, through Zillow, through outgoing leads that we're doing on circle prospecting or expires or for sale by owners. You're having a ton of conversations. Think of the experience that you have talking to 20, 25, 30, 35 people a day, 4 or 5 days a week over the course of 12 months. Who's going to have more experience? The person that is going to be making outbound contacts and having conversations about real estate, their learning curve is going to be shortened by years compared to the person who's waiting for the new conversations to come in. So if the goal is to learn the language as quickly as you can, prospecting and outbound generating calls are the best way to do it. It's going to take your learning curve and shorten it compared to the competition by unbelievable amounts. Okay? Number two, second reason that you really want to understand why prospecting is important, why you should buy into this as a generating pillar is it's predictable. Okay? And what I mean by that, go back to that first example of an agent. They can't predict when the next person's going to walk in. You can't predict when the next person's going to call you and say, listen, I heard from a friend that you're in the business and, I'd love to buy a home and use you as my agent. You can't predict when someone's going to, see an ad that you run and say, boy, I should call them about listing my home. But over time, when you are generating and you're calling in making outbound contacts every single day, you start to build what we refer to as a pipeline. And over time, the pipeline becomes very predictable. In fact, you're going to hear your coach talking to you about how many contacts you need to make on a daily basis in order to reach the goal that you set for yourself. So your financial goal, your transaction goal, we can bring it back all the way to how many contacts do you need to be making on a daily basis to reach that goal. And as long as your skills improve because you're practicing and role playing, those numbers are typically pretty true. We have years and years of data that show over a period of time, do this, get this. So it becomes very predictable. And in an unpredictable business, commission-only business, like real estate, it doesn't have to be unpredictable. You can continue to have a good pipeline of deals coming in, but generating is where it starts. And the last one, number 3, is profit. It's a very profitable business model, meaning you have to generate leads and deals, buyers and sellers somehow. You have 2 choices. You can either invest time or you can invest money. In the beginning, then a lot of times people don't have the extra money to invest in all of the marketing, self-marketing that they would need to do to get leads coming into them. So what's that leave? That leaves you the opportunity to go invest your time and create the leads on your own. Now, go back to number 1. What's the payoff of investing your time? The payoff of investing your time is the experience that you get in all the conversations. It's going to make you a better communicator. It's going to help you convert deals sooner. And over the long run, that's going to compound into more deals every year for you. So remember these 3 things, these 3 guidelines in terms of why prospecting and generating is so important for your business.